Blog Talk Radio.
Alternative facts.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. At 12:07 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, numerous unidentified objects of unknown intent and unknown origin were detected at high altitudes over multiple locations of Earth's outer space by the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, and these objects are presumed to be some form of controlled aircraft. It is not known if more of these aircraft will arrive, or if they will attempt entering Earth's atmosphere. United States citizens are encouraged to monitor local media outlets, as more updates will follow as information becomes available. The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Attacks by the undead have been reported in several states across the country. The dead are rising from their graves and are attacking the human race. At this time, it is expected that more attacks of this nature will occur in several other states in the next few hours. The intent behind their attack is unknown at this time. It has been observed that a bite or exchange of fluids is a method of transmission. This is an extremely dangerous situation if they crave the taste of human flesh. It is not known whether this event will last for hours, days, or even longer. Stay calm, as authorities have been dispatched to deal with these creatures. An all-clear siren will be sounded when this situation is under control. Pacific Standard Time, nor is detected a long-range nuclear missile launcher. This missile is believed to be headed in the direction of all residents within a 400-mile radius of this area should seek a fallout shelter immediately.
Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host, Rodney the Viking Shortridge, co-host, Melinda the Raven Jackson. Want to give a big old shout out to the Facebook paranormal groups that allow us to post our shows on their pages and helping us to get the word out about all of our guests. Also, a shout out to the Connor sisters. Hats off to Misty and Ashley. They are the founders of SOS Sisters of Salem Paranormal Research Society and host of their podcast, Paranormal Party. You can find them on Facebook under Paranormal Party. If anyone would like to speak to Black Diamond Paranormal Society, BDPS, to discuss your paranormal questions or issues, go to our website at blackdiamondps.org or email blackdiamondps@yahoo.com. As always, our services are free.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by calling 516-387-1922, or you can go to the Vibe Radio Network website at blogtalkradio.com, Vibe Radio Network. For deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight, along with my beautiful raven, Melinda Jackson. First off, I'd like to give a shout out to my cousins up in Ohio, Jennifer and Joe Shortridge of 222 Paranormal. If you get a chance, check out their talk show. You can find them on Facebook under 222 Paranormal. Tonight, our special guest is Valerie Rasnake. Valerie is a paranormal investigator with Otherworld South, All Things Supernatural. Damn, that's a long name. Mm-hmm. Valerie is new to the paranormal field, but has always been a sensitive. Still learning her abilities, she's trying to start her own small business along with doing paranormal work. Valerie makes jewelry, soaps, crafts, etc. She also has a Facebook Live where she discusses myths and legends. Well, before I get her on, how was your week, girl?
Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. Oh, don't do that shit. You sound like Trump. You remember that Trump?
Oh, I know you did not put me in the same category.
Hey, you're the one who said money, money, money. Yeah, hell.
I work for a loan company.
All right. Oh, my Jesus Christ, Lord. Well, I'll get on to the show. It's my honor to welcome our special guest, Valerie Rasnake. Valerie, if you can hear me, thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you.
Well, thank you.
All right. I was getting ready to say
it's
shit.
It's an honor to be here.
Well, it should be an honor. You're talking to Rodney Shortridge and Melinda Jackson. I'm just kidding.
I'm beside myself.
Oh, Lord. Are you sitting there fanning yourself because of the heat?
I'm beside myself. I'm on the show.
All right. I like a girl with a good attitude.
Absolutely.
So, Valerie, we'll start off first about, let's see if we can get you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, you pretty much said it.
Well, everybody, it's a good show. Have a good weekend.
You pretty much said everything I need to say. So, see y'all. No. I'm Valerie Rasnake. I'm a paranormal investigator with Otherworld South, All Things Supernatural. Single mom, two babies.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but could y'all made y'all's paranormal group name a little shorter? I mean, that is long. We should do about it.
Well, you'd have to talk to Nikki about that. She named it, so I just joined. So.
Oh, I mean, I'm not complaining or nothing. Well, yeah, I am. It sounds like I am.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's really long.
Well, not if you say it fast.
I couldn't even say it fast. I about damn near got through it. Otherworld South.
Once you get to know it, Otherworld South, All Things Supernatural, it's not as long if you say it quick.
What do you call that where you break the words down?
Acronym?
Acronym, yeah. So that is
OWS.
ATS.
ATS.
What's that? What's it? What's?
Oh. Yeah, just say Otherworld South.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not taking. I'm sorry. I'm just. Yeah, I'm in a good mood tonight, man. I told you we're gonna have a good time.
I'm glad you're in a good mood.
You already told us all about yourself. Well, I guess jump into the paranormal then. What got you into the paranormal world?
Well, I've always had different experiences. I've had several experiences when I was younger. And honestly, I just kind of brushed them off until I met Nikki. And then I started thinking, okay, maybe there is something to it. So I'm kind of one that I like to research and find out why things are happening. So I kind of got into that, and we got into, going on investigations, and I just love it. So,
Okay.
I just want to study more and learn more.
That's what you got to do.
Hello, Valerie.
Hello, Raven.
My first question tonight is, have you had any unexplained or paranormal experiences that's left a significant mark on your life? And if so, can you tell us about it?
Well, I've had several. I think the main one was actually my first investigation that I actually went on ever. We were investigating the old community center in Mill Creek in Cleveland, where I live. And I would really love for somebody to explain it to me because we have no idea. But we were investigating, and I was recording, and I made a video, and we called it EVP. And my original video was 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And I was the only one videoing. So we got back home, and we were going through it, and we heard the EVP. That was like 7:19, I think, that night. At 2:30 the next morning, Nikki's phone had a video on it that she didn't take. Well, when we watched it, it was a clip from the middle of the video that I took with the same EVP on it. The next morning at 11:43, it showed up on my phone, the same clip that was on her phone, same EVP.
Wow.
The pictures in the video are different. It's a different place, but it's the same recording. So we don't know if we were in two places, if it was a time slip. We have no idea. And it freaked us out. And it still freaks me out thinking about it now. Because I can't explain it at all.
When did you see your first ghost?
Well, that I can remember, it's probably been 20 years ago. I lived in Moccasin at the time. And my husband was working, and he worked swing shift, and he happened to be on night that night. So he got home at 7 in the morning. Well, I can remember laying in bed, and I was asleep, and I felt somebody kiss me on the mouth, and I thought he was home. So I opened my eyes, and I could see the head and shoulders in front of me, but it was just like a shadow. So I'm thinking my eyes, have not focused. So I kind of pulled my head back, so I could focus. And when I pulled my head back, it moved back and into the doorway of the bathroom that was the major bath or the master bathroom, and stood up. And it was all you could see was head and shoulders, and then the body. But you could see through it. And I kind of spoke to it, and it just disappeared.
Oh.
But I didn't feel any fear or anything like that from it. That was probably the first real experience that I can remember.
Have you ever seen it more than once?
I have not seen that particular one, but ever since that happened, I've seen other things and felt other things. I had a ghost down there also. I had a cat, and he passed away, and I could still feel him jump up on the bed where he always slept. I was laying there one night, and something brushed across my hands, and my fingers actually moved. I had a little girl spirit that talked to me a lot down there. So it wasn't necessarily the exact same thing, the same entity, but I had other experiences. I don't know if I just maybe became aware of them at that time or what.
Okay.
Did the little girl, did you feel anything negative about her?
No, not at all. She would call me Mommy, and I just kind of got the impression that she was hunting for her mother. And at the time, the first time I heard her, my oldest daughter was about 2 years old, almost 2, and I was actually pregnant with my second daughter. And I took my oldest daughter to her grandmother's house so I could clean the kitchen cabinets. So I was up on a chair standing cleaning the cabinets, and I heard the little girl say Mommy. And of course, the instinct, I said, yes, honey, and turned around and then kind of caught myself and went, okay, she's not here. So that was the first time I heard the little girl. And actually, after my second daughter was born, my oldest went to school. My youngest would be in her room talking and singing and all this, and like she was actually, playing with somebody. And I heard her several times after that. But then I think she got afraid when my ex-husband kind of lost his mind. We'll say it that way. And I think he scared her. And I never heard her again.
Okay. I was asking because, demonologists say that usually when bad entities or even demons are trying to interact with you, they usually come in the form of a little girl.
Right. No, I never felt fear from her at all. The only thing that I ever actually felt was every time she would speak, in my head, I could see a little girl falling off the back of a covered wagon. Every time she spoke, that's all that ran through my head. So I don't know if she actually was killed there on that property or what it was about, but that's all, I kind of felt motherly, sad.
Okay.
Well, what are y'all's techniques, when you're investigating, such as do you all use scientific, religious, metaphysical, or or maybe even a spiritual based, on the information that you have on a case?
Well, we kind of go in open-minded, and we try to find out as much history about the place as we possibly can before we go. And then we kind of just get a feel of it when we go. We try to go during the day before the investigation and get a feel of it before we actually do the investigation. So I guess it kind of depends on where we're investigating.
Okay. Well, what type of tools do you use? Any scientific tools that you use during your investigation?
Honestly, we use our iPhone or our cell phones, cameras, and maybe an iPad. That's about it.
Oh, okay.
We don't have any special equipment as of yet, anyway. So we kind of just use ourselves and our, what's available to us.
Oh, okay.
How many investigations have you done so far?
I have done 8. I'm a newbie.
Newbies. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But I mean, I try to drive around and kind of feel out places that I think would be good. And honestly, for years I've drove past that the old community center, and I always get a vibe when I pass there. So that's the first place we went, and that was our first EVP. And those videos.
That's awesome. So, what do you all, or what do you find most challenging, while you're doing an investigation?
Not peeing my pants.
You sound like Robin.
No, seriously, I think the hardest part for me is not letting my fear overtake my other senses.
Uh-huh.
I know when we went to Jesse's Mill and investigated there for David, we were standing outside after we had investigated, and we were standing outside, and I felt something run their hands through my hair, and I just kind of froze and just kind of slowly climbed Nikki's arm. And she was like, yes, I see it, just chill, and because it was behind me, and it, whatever it was, actually run its hand through my hair and then moved off, and she saw it behind me, but she didn't want to freak me out. I was actually pleased with myself that I really didn't pee myself and run. But I did climb her arm.
Well, extra clothes is always good to bring on an investigation.
Depends is not bad either.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going. Well, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing
I'm
that.
not proud. I'm not too proud to admit it.
I'm going in for the long haul.
That's right. Bring it.
Bring it. I shit in my pants, who gives a damn? I'm here, damn it. I ain't leaving. You might run everybody else.
That's right.
I'm still there.
That's right.
Well, I guess. Hopefully you get that rose perfume smell to kind of kill those shits.
Yeah, that's
that would
good.
help. They'd be like, "Yay! Thank you for showing up."
So do you have any
Yeah.
skepticism when approaching a paranormal or supernatural plane?
Do I have what now?
Any skepticism when you're approaching a paranormal or supernatural plane?
I always try to. I've always been somewhat of a skeptic until I actually had my own experiences. So when I do go places, I always try to debunk everything. Anything that happens, I do my best to find out what else it could be. So I think it's good to be a somewhat skeptic, because I if you go into some place and you believe every word of that everybody says, you have to think, okay, yeah, could fear play a part in that? Could they be maybe fear amped it up a little? They're seeing could have been, a reflection, and their fear caused it to be, 10 times bigger and this horrible monster.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to have a little skepticism, I think.
I agree. Well, when you're talking about that experience, with that with the feeling of something on your arm and stuff, and have you ever been like, you talk about pissing on yourself? Have you ever been afraid of locations so bad that you actually pissed on yourself? And can you, and if you did, what happened?
I have not pissed myself yet, and I'm very proud of that fact.
All right.
But I'm not going to say that I have not come close. And there is a couple places that I will not go back. The community center being one. The other is actually only just a stop sign, and it's probably 5 minutes from my house. Unless I have someone with me, I don't go that way. I don't go that way home.
Oh.
I've heard things there. I've seen things there and felt things that I'm good. I'll go the long way.
What have you seen there?
We actually did an investigation there at the stop sign because of what I've felt before, and we've caught myths and actually a picture of a slave. We've heard, we caught an EVP of him, and it sounded literally like he was in the car with us. And when I heard it, I said, y'all can stay, but I'm going home. But it's really close to, do you know where the Stewart Mansion is?
No, I don't.
Oh.
And it's around Elk Garden.
I've been up to there a few times, but I don't think I remember. That's a long.
Okay, well it's from the Civil War, Stewart Mansion, Governor Stewart. Okay, there's the slave quarters is still there, and we caught shadows, black shadows on pictures. close to the slave quarters, and the stop sign is just right out from it. So we did catch a picture of a slave. Nikki, my partner, is a medium, and she could taste blood, felt like he had been beaten, things like that. So then she took a picture and actually you can see, his white shirt and suspenders, and he's bloody. And it's just a really, really creepy feeling. Like, it's hard to explain. It's just, I don't like going there by myself.
Yeah.
So have you ever made any mistakes on an investigation?
Oh, sure. That's why I try to debunk everything. I'm sure, and of course it's dark, and you think, okay, yeah, I see that, and it looks like this, and then the next day you go back there, and it's like, oh, that's a stump. Awesome. Or I took a picture through my, this is hilarious, by the way. I took a picture through my windshield at my house. And in the photo, it looks like a mist and lights in a tree. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. In my pictures, I always try to do them like black and white, because if you turn them black and white, you can see more, the background and whatnot. Yeah, a cat was laying in my windshield on top of a necklace, some beads. Okay, the beads were the lights I saw in the tree, and the cat was the mist. So, I'm like, oh, that's all right. Not as cool as I thought it was. But that's the best thing about, trying your best to debunk everything. Because I don't want to send something out or post something that I haven't tried every way possible to debunk. Because, one person can look at it and be like, that's a cat in a necklace instead of a ghost in a tree. So I'm sure everybody's made mistakes on investigations, or I would like to think so.
Yeah, we do all the time, and we've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the learning thing comes in.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so due to the mistakes, what advice would you give a newcomer into the paranormal field so that they would not make the same mistakes?
Probably the biggest thing is don't take everything that you might see as paranormal, because really 90% of what you see and catch can be explained. But you have to look for that, 10% that you really can't explain. So don't believe everything you see, because your mind's going to kind of, when you're on investigation, your mind is kind of in a place where you're looking and searching so hard that anything that happens, you're going to turn it into it. Your mind's going to kind of, oh, well, that could be, a spirit, when it's really, somebody behind you smoking and smoke went around. You kind of have to debunk everything.
That's good.
What is the strangest or weirdest case you've ever investigated?
That would have to be the community center with the videos, because to this day we can't explain it. We can't explain the videos, how they showed up, why the videos are different. The pictures on them are different, but the EVP is exactly the same. And why I never want to go past that place again.
Do you prefer to investigate residential, historical, or commercial property?
I really like historical. I think it's only because I like learning the history of things, and I like learning, backstories on different things, and it helps me. It helps me explain away things that I might find, or give, if I do happen to catch an EVP or a good picture, it kind of helps me explain it, who it might be or whatever. Plus, I like historical places. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion about demons and angelic beings? In your opinion, do they exist, or are they just fairy tales? And have you had any personal experiences with either?
I do believe they exist. I have not personally had experiences with demons that I know of. I think there are so many different categories, and a lot of people lump them into one. I think there can be bad spirits as far as if they were bad people. They're most likely going to be bad spirits. Demons, I think, are different than bad spirits. I don't think demons were actual people. Just like ghosts and spirits are different. I think there's so many different things that you could be so-called bad spirit, and it could actually be a demon, or vice versa. And I think that's why you have to be so careful when you do an investigation and protect yourself, with everything, because you don't know exactly what you're dealing with.
Well, what's your opinion? I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I started to say, as far as I know, up till now, I have not dealt with demons or bad spirits unless that's what happened at the community center.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's your opinion about people claiming to be possessed by a demon and someone that might be possessed by an angelic being as well? Could either or really possess somebody?
I think if you give them an opening, a demon would attach to you. I think if they are given that power that they could possess you, then they would do it, definitely. They want to be able to move around and interact with people. And if you give them the end, they're going to take it. I don't think they can just, that's one reason why we protect ourselves. And I'm not saying you can't get attachments if you protect yourself, because you definitely can. But I think you're less likely to get an attachment or possessed if you ground yourself and you protect yourself from that and don't allow it.
Well, I know you said earlier that a ghost and a spirit are different. What, can you elaborate on that more, the difference between a ghost and a spirit?
Well, my thought and the way I think about it, the way I believe, is a ghost is kind of more an imprint on time. I know that you all know about it, but say you have a horse that every night you can hear it run through the backyard, a spirit horse or a ghost horse, run through the backyard at the same time, or the lady that walks through the cemetery. If you try to interact with them, it's like they don't hear you, or, they're just doing the same thing over and over. I think that's just an imprint on time. That's a ghost. That's what a ghost is. A spirit, on the other hand, is intelligent and can actually interact with you. It's not just an imprint. It's an actual being, entity. Make sense?
Oh, yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay. Beginning to wonder there.
No, you kind of have a little bit of long pause, so I'm kind of like, I don't want to interrupt you. I'm really bad at jumping in and saying something, and somebody's still talking. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I wanted to make sure that that I said it right, that it, I explained it right.
Oh, you did good, and that dramatic pause just added to it. Mm-hmm.
So, you mentioned being physically touched and things. What about emotionally or spiritually? Have you been attacked by an unknown entity? And if so, can you explain your experience?
I wouldn't call it attacked, but I do pick up on things as far as physically, like, get sick. But mine is more, and I have gotten, stomach upset, sick. But it's mainly I get really bad headaches in certain places. And I can literally walk 10 feet and it will go away. I can feel certain places. I can feel, the, like, pain in my back, or, pain in certain places. It's been different almost everywhere we've went. I know at Jesse's Mill, I could walk and my head would just literally bust open, and then I could walk 10 feet and it would go away. So, I mean, I do pick up on certain aspects of it. I have yet to figure out what all of them mean, but I'm working on it.
It takes time. take a lot of time in your constant environment.
Yeah.
I think it's Melinda, your turn.
Is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Are there any teams or individuals in the paranormal field that are inspirational to you? And if so, can you tell us how they've impacted you?
Well, I have to say, Richmond Investigators of Paranormal, Big Ray KB, and Wilbur Allen, and the rest of their team, they've been major impact. They've taught me a whole lot and done so much for us, our team.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're great guys.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking tonight a little bit. So, a friend of mine came by. We drank about a fifth and smoked about a pound of weed. So I'm kind of in the mood. I'm just joking.
Well, I'm glad that was tonight. Thanks. Appreciate that.
She's like, "What, dude? You had to get drunk and high just to interview me?"
Appreciate it.
There you go. That Southwest thing.
Hey.
So, what is your opinion on why a spirit, still lingers and doesn't move on?
Honestly, I have no idea. I've heard so many different explanations. I've heard, unfinished business. I've heard they just missed the boat, so to speak. I've heard so many things. I really don't know. I would like to find out, and that's one thing we've been. That's one of those mysteries that we would love to find out. Why would you stay here?
Well, where do you think they go? Where do you think they go when they pass on? Do you believe in a heaven or hell that they go to, or are they in purgatory? Okay.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that kind of causes me to pause on saying, oh, well, they just go nowhere. Because I do believe in heaven and hell. And that's one reason I think, if you could go to heaven, why would you stay here? But then I think, well, if it's stay here or go to hell, I think I might stay here. So I don't really know. That one I can't answer because I really have no definite answer for it.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on the possibility that, ghosts may be an image or a voice of someone from like a parallel universe, and what we're seeing and hearing could be a rip in time and space when we're doing these investigations? What's your thoughts on that?
I'm really not totally against that. I think there are other dimensions, and I honestly think that the veil is thinning, and on occasion we do see things in other dimensions.
Okay.
It's hard to say, yes, definitely, because I do have that little skeptic there in me. I do think certain things are possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's your opinion on like cults?
Aside from cults bad?
Aside from what?
Cults are bad.
Oh. I thought you said baths. I'm baths. I've never heard of that one. What is that?
No. Bad. I don't think that you should that they should play around with things that they do not understand. I think that a lot of the cults do allow demons to come through. And whether they know it or not, I don't know. I think a lot of times they really don't understand what they're doing or what could possibly happen when they do these rituals and, you know, open doors that they really don't need to open.
I agree.
I don't. I get really weirded out when I see anything on TV or anything about cults.
Well, would you? Now, I know you said you believe in heaven and hell, and please, I'm not trying to be offensive here when I ask this question because some people tend to take it that way. But
okay.
would you not? Wouldn't Christianity and all the other religions of the world be considered a cult?
By some, yes. I think it depends on your own personal belief. A lot of people tend to worship the wrong things. They tend to go to church and, you know, gather for the wrong reasons. I am a Christian and I do believe in God. I guess I'm kind of believe in my own way. It's kind of sounds stupid, but it, you know, I think if you are a good person and do things, it's hard to explain. I don't think the same way a lot of people that go to church do. I think a lot of churches could be considered cults. I also think a lot are not. I think some are good, some are bad. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's all about the person, not necessarily the group.
Okay, well, I got another question real quick since we're talking about the religious aspects. Doesn't the Bible say something in there that you're not supposed to search for spirits or ghosts?
You're asking me something I really don't know a whole lot about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. I have no answer. I really don't know if it says to not search for them. I know that people that are in the Bible have seen them. So, you know, they have come to different people, and a lot of paranormal stuff is in there. Of course, it's not going to say that, paranormal, but, you know, the ghosts are in there. Spirits are in there. I do pray about things, and I just kind of try to follow what I'm told. If I'm told don't do this, then I usually don't do that.
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to, pin you down on that. It's just a lot of people I've interviewed, they're paranormal investigators, and a lot of them are Christians. And I actually even had one guy leave my group because of it got to him because he's a very religious person, saying that it says in the Bible that you're not supposed the God or the Bible condemns seeking out the dead.
Right.
And it also says, like in Revelation and Matthew, that they suggest that the soul may be asleep or entering into a holding place.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what to say to it. I mean, I all I can say is, I do pray for things. I do, pray to be led in the right direction, and I do feel like certain times I'm told, no, do not do this. So I don't do it. But other times I feel the need to do certain things, go certain places. So I just try to follow what I feel.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. I mean, like I said, I wasn't trying to pin you down or anything. I was just, trying to find your opinion.
Whatever.
Well, fuck you too.
He asked that question of everybody.
I try. Well, it ain't like I'm trying to pin them down. It's just I'm just trying to get their aspect of it, because where we've caught so much hell throughout the years, calling us devil worshippers and all that shit, and I'm like, no one worships the devil.
Oh, believe me, I catch hell too. But again, I try to listen to myself, my gut, so to speak.
That's
and
what you should. That tells you everything.
It's done me good so far, so.
Okay, so what is your opinion of witches?
That's a tough question. Do you mean, are they real?
We can start there.
What do I think about them?
We can start. Do you believe they're real?
I do.
Okay. Do you think they're all evil?
No. Again, it depends on the person and their intent. I actually know several white witches, and you never ask for personal gain, things like that. You help people. The other, not so much. Witches scare me. Even the ones that I do know, I try not to piss them off. But, it, again, with everything in every aspect of it, it depends on that person and their intent. I think a witch can be good or evil. It's just their intent. It just depends.
So basically what you're saying is there's good and bad in everything.
Yes, absolutely.
Like going back to Rodney's question about Christianity and their beliefs. There's good and bad Christians, there's good and bad whatever.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That sounds good to me.
Absolutely. Just like there's good and bad people. There's good and bad people, therefore anything people do are, it's either good or bad. It just depends on the people.
Oh, that's true.
So what do you think is behind the veil?
I don't know. It scares me that I don't know. Kind of a curiosity thing. I'm curious to know, but I'm afraid to know. I do think, the dimensions, our dimension and all the other dimensions are getting a lot closer together. And I don't know what'll happen, if it gets thinner and goes away. If they all collide, it scares me. Only because I have no idea what's on the other side.
So, do you think the veil is at its thinnest during Samhain?
I don't think it does get thinner at certain times. I think it just stays. I don't think, it's hard to answer. I don't think it varies. I think it just stays permanent, and it's just getting thinner.
Okay.
I was just wondering because I'm pagan, and we believe that during Halloween it is at its thinnest. This is when that you make your shrine for your loved ones that have passed, and that's the most prevalent time to be able to speak with them. So I was just wondering your opinion about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know a whole lot about it, just from what I've researched. I would like to hear more about what you all think, what you think about things. Just because I think it helps me to know more about what other people think about it.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that the way I think is definite, because there's so much that I really don't know about, and I just kind of get impressions about it. But I need to hear what other people think, and it kind of helps me know more about it. That way I can have a more definite opinion about it.
Well, that's one thing.
Because a lot of people know way more than I know about it.
Well, that's one thing that's really great about my team I've got. I've got different people that's different religious, different beliefs, different cultures,
right,
and different politics and so forth. And when you mix it up, they bring so much more to the table. Because when you have like-minded minds, you kind of stay stagnant in one spot. If you got different opinions and thoughts and experiences, it just makes it even a better experience.
That's true, and that's one reason I said I would love to know what other people think of it. I talked to one of my family members is a white witch. I talk to him a lot because he has different opinions, different aspects of things that I may not have thought about. So I do like to talk to people of other religions and all this because, they give me the intel that I need to make a definite opinion.
Yeah. I think it's your turn. She's lost again.
No, I was just actually thinking.
Daydreaming.
No, I was actually thinking about another question, but I will keep it.
Well, if you got another question, why don't ask her?
Well, I mean, it's not really, well, maybe a question, but maybe some more input because she's wanting to learn more about everything. I'm also a sensitive, and as I told you, I'm also pagan, and when we do a ritual on Halloween, I feel more, see more, so I do believe the veil is at its thinnest. Just like with the Day of the Dead, they also believe that as well, But yeah, I mean, maybe studying paganism, and maybe give you some more insight about the veil.
Sure. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know enough about it to make a definite answer or to give a definite answer because I haven't studied it enough.
Right. Like I've captured my mother who has passed. On Halloween night, it's very common for me to capture her image in a mirror because I always she's always definitely one of the people that I put up on the altar.
Right.
She loves yellow roses, and so which I put things like that on there just to show respect and remembrance of them, and that's usually when I see her or feel her the most.
Right. Yeah, I cannot say no, you're crazy because I really don't know.
I can be.
She's got her moments.
I mean, I can't. No, I can't say that somebody else. No, that's not. That's not it. When I don't know enough about, your religion, I don't know enough about anything to know to say, well, no, it's this, or, it's in your head, or whatever, because people tell me, well, no, that's a shadow, or, you don't know what I've seen. They don't know how I think about it, and I don't know how other people think about it. So that's why I try to learn as much from other people as I can, so I can make better, decisions on certain things.
Mm-hmm. YouTube is a wonderful thing. I mean, if you really
It really is.
I'll sit up and watch all kinds of shit, and then I'm sitting here going, okay, that guy's full of shit. And then watch somebody else kind of talking about it, giving a different view, and you're like, okay, now that makes a little more sense.
Right.
Maybe you should do that. I think I was before.
Yeah, no shit. Watch more YouTube, dumbass. Oh, I ain't talking about you. She's talking about another guy. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Give myself in trouble. No, I'm sorry. I was talking to Smith. Oh, Lord.
Come on your show and you just badmouth me.
I know. That's how I treat all my women.
But yeah, I don't down anybody. I don't try to tell people that they're wrong or, their beliefs are not right or, I believe the way I believe. Everybody's free to believe the way they believe, and I'm okay with, finding out their opinions on things because it helps me.
Okay, so we're going to switch it up a little bit. What are some of your favorite places that you've investigated?
She's like, get out of this shit. You're killing me.
Sweating here. My favorite places. I like investigating battlefields. Like I said, I've only been on very few investigations, but I actually went the battlefields around here, like Corn Valley. A lot of Civil War battles were up there. Those were great. We did catch several things there. I think one of my favorite investigations, though, was at Big Bear Cabin. And all of our investigations are on our YouTube, Otherworld South, All Things Supernatural, on our YouTube channel. But I almost felt like I was home. It was so, I don't know, it was almost surreal. Like, and I know I sound completely nuts, but when I looked at this place, it was almost like I was pulled back a long time ago. Was looking at it from a long time ago. And I just wanted to just go and just sit and just close my eyes and just be there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It was just, I loved it. Not saying it wasn't spooky as the devil at night, because it was, but it was awesome.
So do you believe in
battle?
So do you believe in past lives?
I am skeptical of past lives, but I have had several things happen to me. That could not have, don't have any other answers besides it's happened to me in a past life. I have dreams and just different, they're almost like memories. And it's really weird. I know Nikki, my Nicole in Beach, she is my partner. We've actually had the same dreams before, and it's almost like we were sisters in a past life. We've had several dreams and several thoughts and memories that were together, and we've had the same ones, the same thoughts and dreams, and it's really hard to explain other than past lives.
Okay. You see, I think.
Like I said, I don't, I've always been skeptical of past lives because of the Christian part, and, I think when you die, you go to heaven or hell, and it's hard for me to accept past lives, but there's so many things that's happened, I'm kind of like, maybe there is something to it.
Okay, my next question is, are there any places in the country that, may have a legend to them that you would like to investigate?
I would really like to see in Texas is it NAFTA light?
Then, yeah.
I would really like to see that. Gosh, there's so many places. I would really, gosh, I don't know. I'd really like to go to New Orleans. I feel like that would be a fantastic trip. An investigation in New Orleans.
So, what do you think about
that,
Marie Laveau?
I'm sorry?
What do you think about Marie Laveau?
I think she was a very scary voodoo witch.
You don't think she was a healer?
I think she was, but I also think there was a dark side. I don't know enough about voodoo to really know exactly what they do and all this, just from what, I've heard. I do think she was, but I think maybe it was for certain people she was a healer. And you didn't want to cross her. Because she could do some damage.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. She's the most revered priestess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you were on her good side, so to say, so to say on her good side, then you were good. She was a healer. I think if you crossed her, you might as well just lay down. So it kind of can go good or bad.
Yeah, you don't mess with the voodoo ladies. Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. Mm-mm.
I don't think they're bad people. I just think you just don't fuck with them.
No, but yeah, I think they can be your worst nightmare if you cross them.
Well, I mean, that's where human nature comes in, because we have good and bad in us. You have to have balance. You have to have balance. And, I mean, we are not without fault. We're not without sin. And, when we get angry, we say and do things. Just on their level, they're able to do more.
Exactly. And I think bad people just let the bad overrun the good. Instead of having balance, they are more bad than good.
Well, I got a question. With so many paranormal TV shows on, do you think it's helping or hurting the paranormal field?
It depends on the show. Some of the shows, I think, help us as far as letting people understand that it's not all evil. That it's not, that it can be helpful. Other shows maybe play it up too much and show it as this fantastic, dramatic, field that people don't realize that there's a lot of work involved in it. So I think some are really good, one of my favorite shows is The Dead Files. It shows more of research and all this that actually does go into it. Some of them are more for the benefit of entertainment and maybe scaring people, and it turns them off.
Right. Well, what do you think the future of the paranormal and the supernatural world is heading? You know, with all this drama within it seems like with all the paranormal teams and researchers, do you think that they're going to burn themselves out or cause a collapse because of not being able to work together, and it's all about, I want a TV show?
Honestly, I think they will eventually just weed themselves out. Because I think the ones that are the true investigators and want to learn the truth about things and actually do the work and the research and don't want, to be famous for it, are the ones that are going to be around for a while. I think those are the ones that are going to win out against the people that, oh, well, we'll do this and then we'll go on TV. And then they end up not catching anything, so there goes one show. So you have to make something up.
Mm-hmm.
And spice things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of fake going on, a lot of...
yeah.
And
I
everybody...
think...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I think eventually the bad will weed out themselves. I think they'll just eventually either get shut down by somebody else or just forget it,
Mm-hmm. Well, I know I have a lot of people send me videos, audio, still photos for me to go over, and even people in the paranormal field. And, they ask for my opinion, and I give them my opinion, and 99% of them, is cool with it. But then that's that 1% that gives me down the road, telling me I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. That's what it is. When it's actually, that's not what I see. You're asking for an opinion. I give you my opinion. If you don't like it, then don't ask.
I feel like, and if I take a picture and I catch something, I send it to my group. I send it to, Richmond Investigators. I send it to KB and Ray. I send it to other people and say, what do you see? Because what I see, I might see a lady standing there and they might see a tree.
Yeah.
I value other people's opinions, and they always, I think instead of just saying, okay, this is a ghost, and posting it and saying, okay, this is a ghost, and you need other people's input on it. And if I can't, I try everything I can to debunk it. If I'm unable to debunk it, then I send it to other people and say, can you tell me what this is? If they cannot, then I know it's legit.
Right.
If I cannot get anybody to debunk something, then I know it's good.
Well, where you deal, more in the supernatural part of the paranormal world, as far as you being a sensitive and stuff, what's your opinion on, people that do seances and tarot card readings and healers and stuff like that?
It's the same. I think there's some that are just full of crap and some that are legit and actually know their business. I'm not going to say I don't think it's good or bad, because everybody has their own style, their own way of doing things. I have friends that read tarot cards. I have, friends that do seances. I myself I'm a little bit scared of it, not the tarot cards, but the seances, because I don't know how to control my own abilities well enough now to know what I might open or allow through unknowingly. And I don't want to take the chance. The people that actually do know how to do these things and do them the right way, I don't see the bad. But there's some people that, let's have a seance or let's play with the Ouija board. They will end up doing things they're not aware of.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Ouija boards, what is your opinion about Ouija boards?
Ouija boards scare me to death. And that simple fact, I don't know enough about them, and I'm scared to death that I will open the wrong door for the wrong one. So I've always stayed away from them. They've always scared me. But like I said, I know people that do it, and that's fine. I just personally would rather not.
I agree. I had to go cleanse the house not too long ago because a girl had used it and opened up some pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Kids, when they sell Ouija boards in the game section, kids do not realize what can possibly happen, and they end up opening things that should never be opened. And it's not necessarily their fault because they don't understand that this can actually happen.
Yeah.
So I try to stay as far away from Ouija boards as I possibly can.
My opinion about them, I think the people give it the power to playing with it. I think if you're just playing with it as a game, that's fine, no big deal. But the problem is people believe it so much, they give it its power to open up doorways, and then they can't close it. That's the reason why I don't fool with them or have anybody in my group. If they fool with it, that's fine. They do it on their own time, but you ain't doing that on an investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, see,
So,
I honestly think everything in every aspect goes down to the person and their intent and their knowledge, and each one of us, even though we work together, you have to kind of center yourself and know your own intent. And then the next person has to know theirs. And then we all work together. But, you kind of have to go inward, and it's kind of instead of, I worry about Nikki's intent and she worries about mine, we don't have to do that because we know what each other, we know what each other are like, and we know how we think, and then we still ourselves.
mm-hmm.
So I think if you go on an investigation or you do anything like that, you really should know everybody that you're going with, and know that nobody's there to open a door or, nobody's there for the wrong reason.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Well, here, this is going to be a little toss-up question. Have you ever had any, Bigfoot or UFO encounters? And if so, can you explain that experience?
As far as I know, I've never had a UFO experience. As far as Bigfoot goes, I've heard, and I say I've heard him, but I've never heard anything that sounded like this before in my entire life, and I've heard it 3 times so far. Twice was actually at that stop sign that I talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally the worst howl, growl, scream all mixed into one that I've ever heard in my life. And it would send chills from your hair to your toes. I've heard it twice at the stop sign before we went on our investigation. And the stop sign, the mansion is maybe 5 minutes from my house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was down there and heard it, it was almost like it was like beside of me. I was at home one night and sitting out in the car and heard it again. But it sounded, far away, but it was the same noise, and it was towards that direction, towards the mansion, direction of the mansion. So to this day, I've never heard anything that sounded like that. And it sounded the exact same all 3 times.
Man.
As far as seeing him or anything like that, no.
Okay. Well, have you ever had, an out-of-body experience or been able to astral project yourself? And if so, can you explain that and what it means and how it affected you?
I have never intentionally astral projected or anything such as that. That was one of the things we thought may have happened at the community center. We still don't know what happened then, but we don't know if that's what happened to us and we went somewhere else. Same location but a different time or a different location. We don't know. So
okay.
I've never intentionally done that either, so.
But we're just about done. What are your plans for the rest of 2018? Do you have any projects that you're working on that you can discuss, or anything that you want to put out there?
Well, for Halloween, the last weekend in October, Nikki and I and some more in the group are going to Richmond to see or to join the Richmond Investigators of the Paranormal and be on the radio show. It's at the Dead City Lodge. We're going to do some investigations while we're up there at the battlefields and some different places up there. November the 3rd, we have the Phantom Fest at the conference center in Lebanon.
Yep.
and I'm thinking you know about that.
Yeah, I think I know a little bit.
And I'm trying to start my jewelry and crafts, trying to get it off the ground. So that's pretty much what my year's going to be.
Well, it sounds like you got a little busy end of the year going on.
I do.
But yeah, what
I
do you have?
hope it stays busy.
Oh gosh, mine's busy all the way up till after New Year.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally when I get to take a break, is in January and February, if I don't kill over and die because I'm always sick.
Well, I'm hoping mine stays busy right on up. So.
Hey, I've been busy ever since March on all this stuff, and because not only right after the Phantom Fest, after we get done with that, I'm going to be doing a Christmas photo shoot in Withville at the Tractor Supply, and then in Van Sant at the Tractor Supply 2 weekends there. And I've done that every year for, 8 years now? Mm-hmm. Lord mercy. And now start this Phantom Fest up. Woo! It's keeping my ass glued to this chair.
I also have a live show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. on Facebook Live. It's called Myths and Legends. So I've started doing it twice a week now. So I have that also.
Well, I'm gonna bring something up because I watched the last episode you did, and please, again, don't take offense, but you sat there stroking your kitty cat the whole time was really intriguing. Because I'm sitting here watching her, and I mean, she just and it's right in her crotch, and she just slowly just stroking her kitty while she's talking, and I'm like, oh my God, do you know the shit I want to say about this right now?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I got to do what I can for ratings, too.
Hey, don't worry. Hey, don't get the guys over there to watch you. I ain't no kidding. I'll even post it up for you. I only strokes kitty while talking about legends.
Well, if you watched it, you heard me say, my cat is in my lap. That's what I'm rubbing.
Well, yeah, but that didn't matter. You don't really hear that because it's just focused on you slowly stroking your kitty.
I'll try to work on that.
No, I'm sure it's okay. I didn't bother me. I was just sitting here just thinking all kinds of things I could say, and I'm like, I don't know her well enough. I'm afraid I might piss her off.
Yeah. I noticed that too because I was watching myself on my phone, and I was like, man, you can't even see my cat. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, my cat's in my lap, by the way.
Right in between her legs, sitting there petting her kitty. Yeah. And I mean, I listened to you. I'm not sure I caught everything you were saying because, like I said, you was just slowly stroking the kitty, and I'm like, this has got to be some kind of animal porn. What the hell is it?
That's my rescue kitty.
Yeah, I see why it's rescued.
He loves me.
I can tell. You look like you're all attached. Yeah.
I am not in this.
I told him not to give me that weed. Well, Valerie, I appreciate you so much coming on the show. We have nothing but, mad respect for you and all these people in the paranormal world that's, learning and trying and maybe can, teach us a thing or two because, we kind of old dogs in the business and we're always open to see new things and new aspects of the paranormal world?
Well, we need to learn from the people that have been doing it a while too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you learn from each other.
Yeah. Well, Valerie, I'll let you go. You stay safe and make sure this hurricane don't blow you away.
I appreciate you all bringing me on, and you all stay safe as well.
Okay, anytime you want to come back on, the door's always open.
I appreciate that.
Okay, well, you have a good night and a great weekend.
All right, you all too.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, everybody, that was Valerie. Had a great time. That was fun. I love that show. Love it. Our guest for next Thursday night, August 20th, is Britain's best-selling nonfiction author, radio journalist, and broadcaster for the BBC, Graham Phillips. This man has wrote so many books about so many different things. I'm going to have like 10 damn shows just for him. But I appreciate you all listening to us and all that good shit. And everybody be safe for Florence. Got what's for Florence?
That's how we say it in the heel.
No, Buchanan County slipped there. Sorry. Y'all be safe out there. If you need any help or something, you better not call 911 because you're staying in it. They said, fuck you.
Grab your floaties.
Grab your floaties. But seriously, y'all stay safe and have a great weekend.
Good night.
She said that's so sexy all the time. Tears me up. Lord. That's it for us tonight. I want to thank everyone that took the time to listen in. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Vibe Radio Network and to Ryan for putting up with us. Also to all the first responders and our men and women in the armed services. Thank you for your service and the sacrifices that you and your families make every day to keep our great nation safe. Tune in next week to another exciting show starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone can go to our Facebook page Within the Chaos, and don't forget to like our page to see upcoming guests along with past shows, postings, or you can also go to my website at www.blackdiamondps.org or blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. Also, we have a YouTube channel, so go to YouTube. Look up Within the Chaos for past shows. Thanks again. Until next week, everyone have a safe weekend and have a good night. And love you all. Be careful out there.
I'm sorry. But I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!